Hello, my dear sleepy listener. Welcome to this gentle journey through the serene whispers of Japan's Edo period, an era characterized by harmony, beauty, and profound tradition, spanning from 1603 to 1868. Tonight, as you slowly drift along with the peaceful currents of history, you'll softly explore tranquil streets, sacred rituals, and experience the calm pulse of centuries past. Before you drift away into peaceful slumber, please take a moment to like this video, leave a gentle comment about your favorite historical moment, and subscribe to keep these soothing tales coming your way. I warmly invite you to share your location and time zone. Let us know from where you're softly listening, so we can all connect gently through these calming historical tales. Now, dim the lights, settle in comfortably, and let these gentle whispers of history lull you softly into sleep. You awaken gently in the calm, early dawn of the 17th century. The air around you is fresh and crisp, carrying the soft scent of morning dew, mingled with the subtle fragrance of blooming cherry blossoms. Standing on a lush, green hill, you overlook the serene city of Edo, the newly established capital under the wise governance of Tokugawa Ieyasu. As you slowly take in your surroundings, the gentle rustle of bamboo leaves and the distant murmur of a quietly awakening city provide a comforting symphony. The landscape before you is beautifully serene. Low buildings with gracefully curved roofs form harmonious rows, punctuated occasionally by towering pagodas whose spires reach softly toward the heavens. Edo appears as a quiet masterpiece, bathed gently in hues of soft gold and pale lavender as the sun timidly begins its daily ascent. Edo's emergence marks the start of a unique and peaceful chapter in Japanese history, masterfully orchestrated by Tokugawa Ieyasu. A figure of patience and calm strength, Ieyasu has led Japan away from centuries of war, ushering in an unprecedented age of tranquility. Under his careful guidance, Japan is finally free to breathe softly, embracing a life of gentle stability and cultural flourishing. Walking slowly down from the hill, you step onto streets thoughtfully designed to reflect Ieyasu's vision of harmony and order. The roads are laid meticulously, connecting neighborhoods that quietly thrive under his administration. Every corner, every street, bears the mark of thoughtful consideration, built to facilitate peace and prosperity. The quiet marketplace, now slowly stirring, draws your attention with its subtle charm. Merchants gently arrange their wares, handling each item with care born from pride in their craft. The soft clink of pottery, the gentle rustle of fabrics, and the faint scent of fresh produce create an intimate tapestry of daily life. Craftsmen sit quietly at their workshops, their practiced hands skillfully carving, weaving, and shaping goods to be treasured by generations. You pause to wonder about Tokugawa Ieyasu himself, a ruler whose public image of strength and determination is complemented by quieter, lesser-known personal passions. Historical whispers gently reveal his love for falconry, a tranquil pursuit that provided moments of peaceful solitude amid the demands of leadership. You imagine him standing patiently beneath open skies, watching serenely as his falcons gracefully soared above, embodying his own quiet spirit of calm and resilience. Yet scholars still softly debate the precise motivations behind Ieyasu's selection of Edo as his capital. Some historians suggest practical considerations. Edo's strategic location allowed Ieyasu to carefully monitor potential rivals and consolidate power effectively. Others gently speculate that Ieyasu felt an intuitive connection to the area's natural beauty, its protective rivers and hills creating an environment of serene safety and tranquility. Regardless of the true reason, Edo blossomed under his careful planning into a vibrant metropolis and lasting symbol of peaceful governance. As the morning sun rises higher, you continue your tranquil exploration, noticing the city's immaculate cleanliness. Streets are carefully swept, homes beautifully maintained, each neighbourhood exuding a quiet sense of pride and dignity. Such cleanliness mirrors the overall philosophy of Edo society, a collective commitment to order, discipline, and mutual respect fostered by the shogunate's stable rule. Passing gently through residential quarters, you glimpse daily life unfolding quietly. Families begin their day with serene routines. Children laugh softly as they play simple games. Elders sit thoughtfully in quiet contemplation, their wise eyes calmly observing the subtle ebb and flow of life around them. There is a palpable serenity in these moments, reflecting the peace and prosperity nurtured by the Tokugawa government. Continuing beyond the city's limits, you find yourself amidst carefully cultivated rice paddies. Here, farmers engage gently with the land, their movements harmonious and methodical. Each task is carried out with deliberate care, attuned to the rhythm of seasons. The tranquil beauty of this scene resonates deeply. The soft whisper of wind through rice stalks, the gentle murmur of water flowing in irrigation channels, and distant calls of birds creating an orchestra of subtle tranquility. From this peaceful vantage point, Edo appears a harmonious balance of humanity and nature, shaped gently by thoughtful hands and quiet hearts. You sense a deep gratitude for this calm, beautiful beginning, a peaceful foundation laid by Ieyasu upon which generations will flourish culturally, spiritually, and artistically. The sun now fully rises, casting a warm golden glow across Edo, highlighting its refined elegance and harmonious existence. You stand still for a quiet moment, absorbing this calm historical landscape, knowing this peacefulness will resonate gently through centuries. With a deep breath, you move slowly forward, embracing the serene journey awaiting you. This gentle voyage through Edo's rich and tranquil history promises discoveries filled with beauty, subtlety, and quiet joy. Continuing your serene exploration, you slowly drift deeper into the gentle streets of Edo, now softly illuminated by the warm morning sunlight. The air feels pleasantly crisp, mingled with faint aromas from nearby homes and small eateries beginning their daily routines. The subtle sound of wooden clogs quietly clicking against the stone pathways accompanies your journey as residents calmly step into their everyday tasks, each movement marked by an unhurried, graceful purpose. This city, envisioned by Tokugawa Ieyasu, has quickly blossomed into a vibrant cultural and economic hub. It is here, among the quiet pathways and modest shops, that the peace and harmony of the Edo period are most vividly felt. You observe with gentle curiosity how each aspect of daily life, from commerce and craftsmanship to social interactions, is thoughtfully balanced to maintain the tranquil order established by the shogunate. Your attention gently settles on a small tea house, nestled quietly between two wooden storefronts. The tea master moves softly inside, preparing for the day's first ceremony. This ancient tradition, known as Chanoyu, encapsulates Edo's spirit of mindfulness, simplicity, and aesthetic beauty. You quietly enter, immediately enveloped by a serene atmosphere, a comforting blend of natural simplicity and thoughtful elegance. Inside the tea house, the decor is intentionally minimalistic, highlighting the natural textures and materials. Smooth tatami mats cover the floor, their subtle fragrance adding to the room's peaceful ambience. Walls of delicate rice paper diffuse soft sunlight, casting gentle shadows that dance quietly across the interior. You sit gracefully, observing the tea master meticulously preparing each utensil with deliberate, precise movements, each action performed with calm, intentional care. The tea ceremony embodies the refined artistry and meditative calm that define Edo society. Each step, from the gentle whisking of matcha to the careful pouring into humble, yet exquisitely crafted bowls, is executed with serene precision. You sense a profound reverence in these quiet actions, understanding that the ceremony symbolizes harmony, respect, purity, and tranquility, values deeply cherished throughout Edo Japan. The tea master quietly shares a quirky historical anecdote, softly recounting how some Edo tea masters had unique personal rituals believed to enhance their focus. One renowned master insisted on taking exactly 10 slow breaths before beginning, believing this precise practice brought harmony to his spirit and the ceremony itself. These gentle eccentricities, warmly embraced, added layers of subtle charm to Edo's cultural traditions. Historians still gently debate the exact origins and influences that shaped Edo's tea culture, while some scholars softly assert direct lineage from Zen Buddhist practices emphasizing mindfulness and meditation. Others suggest broader influences from earlier Japanese traditions to subtle interactions with Chinese customs. Regardless of its exact genesis, the tea ceremony remains a beautifully tranquil cornerstone of Edo's rich cultural tapestry. Slowly savouring the carefully prepared tea, you feel a calm appreciation for this moment of gentle communion, a simple yet deeply profound reflection of Edo's peaceful ethos. Each sip resonates softly, the subtle bitterness and warmth blending perfectly, evoking a sense of quiet gratitude and contentment. Outside again, the morning gently continues, Edo now fully awake yet maintaining its peaceful rhythm. Merchants quietly offer their goods, from freshly harvested produce to beautifully crafted wares, each interaction carried out with polite courtesy. Streets softly bustle with quiet energy, yet never lose their calm dignity. Edo's tranquility also extends to its infrastructure. The city's streets, designed under careful planning by Tokugawa officials, reflect a conscious effort to create harmonious, functional spaces. Wide roads prevent overcrowding, and carefully placed waterways provide essential routes for trade and transportation, while subtly enhancing the city's aesthetic beauty. You slowly approach one of these serene canals, lined with graceful willow trees gently swaying in the morning breeze. Small boats glide quietly along the water, carrying goods to various parts of the city. Their soft passage adds to Edo's peaceful atmosphere, a visual and auditory reflection of the harmonious society carefully cultivated by the Tokugawa regime. Alongside these waterways, families stroll leisurely, enjoying the quiet pleasures of the morning. Children play gently, their laughter bubbling softly into the tranquil air. Elders walk slowly, often pausing to share quiet words or subtle gestures of acknowledgement, reinforcing community bonds strengthened by years of peaceful coexistence. You softly notice the remarkable absence of tension or hurry within the city. Edo's residents move with gentle confidence, their routines shaped by stability and predictability, qualities deeply valued in this peaceful era. This stability, nurtured by Tokugawa governance, allows Edo's culture and arts to flourish without interruption, producing enduring legacies admired for centuries. Standing quietly by the canal's edge, you pause once more, absorbing the quiet beauty and harmonious rhythm of Edo life. Here, in this moment of gentle reflection, you sense the profound peace that characterizes the Edo period, a quiet strength derived from thoughtful governance, deep respect for tradition, and collective commitment to harmonious living. Feeling deeply calmed and gently inspired, you continue your journey, ready to uncover more serene moments, quiet insights, and peaceful discoveries within Edo Japan's beautifully tranquil embrace. Continuing your tranquil exploration, you softly make your way toward Edo Castle, the quiet heart of Tokugawa rule. The gentle morning sun bathes its stone walls and elegant wooden towers in a warm, comforting glow. As you approach, the atmosphere subtly shifts, becoming even calmer, filled with a sense of dignified serenity and peaceful authority. Edo Castle, originally a modest fortification, was thoughtfully expanded by Tokugawa Ieyasu and his successors into a magnificent symbol of shogunal power and prestige. Yet, for all its grandeur, the castle's atmosphere is remarkably peaceful and welcoming. Surrounded by wide moats filled with tranquil waters, the castle grounds provide an oasis of calm amidst the bustling city. Stepping softly through the main gates, you enter expansive gardens meticulously tended by generations of gardeners dedicated to creating spaces of gentle beauty and contemplation. Paths wind gracefully through carefully pruned trees, delicate flower beds, and serene koi ponds, each element thoughtfully placed to encourage quiet reflection and relaxation. The inner areas of the castle are equally calm and thoughtfully arranged. Low buildings of elegant wood and paper construction house the shogun's quarters, meeting halls, and ceremonial spaces. Here, daily routines unfold quietly, each action imbued with careful deliberation and respect for tradition. As you wander gently through these serene corridors, you glimpse quiet scenes of daily life within the castle walls. Samurai, now peaceful administrators rather than warriors, softly engage in their duties. Many carefully review official documents, manage affairs of state, or partake in quiet intellectual pursuits, their once martial discipline now redirected toward administrative efficiency and cultural enrichment. A quirky, little-known detail softly emerges. Edo Castle had an elaborate system of subtle signals to maintain peaceful order. Small, discreet gestures, quiet codes, and gentle sounds communicated messages among attendants, ensuring that even urgent matters were handled with dignified calm and discretion. This careful choreography of subtle interactions reflects the deeply ingrained value placed on harmony and tranquility. Historians gently debate aspects of life within Edo Castle, particularly the precise daily routines of the shoguns and their closest attendants. While detailed records exist, certain nuances remain quietly uncertain. Scholars softly question how deeply the shoguns engaged personally with the arts, or if they preferred quiet solitude over active participation in Edo's cultural life. Regardless, their subtle presence undoubtedly shaped the peaceful rhythms of castle life and beyond. The castle's tea rooms, softly illuminated by natural light filtering through delicate paper screens, become another focal point of peaceful activity. Here, intimate gatherings of court nobles, samurai officials, and esteemed visitors partake in refined tea ceremonies, exchanging quiet conversations filled with subtle wit and gentle humour. The tea ceremony, once again, symbolizes Edo's broader culture, harmonious, respectful, and deeply mindful. Stepping into one such tea room, you're warmly welcomed by the gentle movements of a tea attendant carefully preparing a ceremony. Each graceful action, cleaning the utensils, whisking the matcha, serving the tea, embodies a serene perfection born of practice and reverence. The ceremony unfolds softly, each quiet sip a profound reflection of Edo's tranquil spirit. Outside, the castle gardens stretch toward the distant horizon, offering peaceful vistas that subtly remind visitors of the shogunate's extensive, harmonious influence. These gardens, like the castle itself, are designed not only for beauty, but also to symbolize and reinforce the calm stability and cultural richness fostered under Tokugawa governance. You stroll gently through these expansive gardens, noticing the quiet dedication of gardeners meticulously pruning and nurturing each plant. Their work, often passed down through family lines, reflects Edo's deeply held value of careful, patient craftsmanship, a value evident in every aspect of castle life and broader society. Pausing beside a serene pond, you watch quietly as colourful koi glide effortlessly through clear waters. Their gentle movements reflect Edo's own peaceful rhythm, a society carefully structured yet effortlessly graceful, unified in its collective pursuit of harmony and stability. As the morning softly deepens, the castle hums gently with the subtle activity of daily governance. Each official, servant, and attendant quietly contributes to the castle's serene order, their roles meticulously defined yet performed with quiet humility and dignity. Standing quietly at the castle's edge, you gaze thoughtfully over Edo, feeling deeply connected to this peaceful heart of Tokugawa Japan. Edo Castle, in its quiet elegance and dignified authority, encapsulates the era's ideals, stability, tranquility, and harmonious coexistence. Calmly inspired by this tranquil exploration, you gently continue onward, ready to uncover more quiet beauty, subtle insights, and peaceful wisdom in the softly unfolding story of Edo Japan. Softly continuing your tranquil journey, you gently wander into the heart of Edo's cultural landscape. Here, amid quiet alleyways and serene courtyards, you find yourself approaching the Kabuki theatres, vibrant yet subtly refined centres of artistic expression and entertainment. Kabuki, a traditional form of Japanese drama, first blossomed in the early Edo period and swiftly captured the imagination and hearts of Edo's residents. With its origins in lively street performances, Kabuki evolved gently, becoming more structured and sophisticated under Tokugawa rule. As you softly approach a theatre, you can sense the excitement quietly building in the air, yet it remains gracefully subdued, reflecting the balanced decorum cherished throughout Edo society. Stepping inside, you find yourself enveloped by gentle whispers and subtle anticipation. The theatre itself, constructed primarily of wood and paper screens, creates an intimate yet elegant environment. Audience members quietly take their seats, engaging in hushed, polite conversations, their soft voices blending into a pleasant background murmur. The stage, illuminated gently by lanterns casting warm, inviting light, becomes a focal point for Edo's artistic excellence. Performers gracefully move through carefully choreographed actions, each gesture intentional and deeply expressive. Costumes, meticulously crafted from richly textured fabrics, softly enhance each movement, adding layers of quiet beauty and cultural symbolism to the performances. Kabuki's appeal lies not only in its visual elegance, but also in its emotional depth. Plays often explore subtle nuances of human emotion, quietly reflecting societal values, moral lessons, and timeless themes of love, loyalty, and honor. The actor's deliberate movements and restrained expressions convey powerful stories without overwhelming the senses, inviting audiences into thoughtful, meditative reflection. One intriguing, lesser-known detail softly emerges about Kabuki's history. Its initial performances featured predominantly female actors, whose dramatic portrayals drew immense popularity. However, concerns over public morality led Tokugawa authorities to quietly intervene, eventually requiring all roles, even female characters, to be played by male actors. This gentle yet decisive shift shaped Kabuki into a uniquely stylized form, defined by its graceful, exaggerated movements and carefully controlled artistry. Historians gently debate the broader implications of Kabuki's transition, questioning how deeply this shift affected audience perceptions of societal norms. Some softly speculate that the all-male casting subtly reinforced hierarchical gender roles, while others suggest it allowed for a more nuanced exploration of emotional complexity and theatrical creativity. Regardless, Kabuki remained a cherished cultural institution, deeply reflective of Edo's complex yet harmonious society. You gently notice the musicians, quietly positioned at the stage's edge, contributing subtly to the emotional resonance of each performance. Their soft melodies, composed primarily for shamisen, drums, and flutes, create an atmospheric backdrop that enhances the gentle intensity of the dramatic scenes. Each musical note, precisely timed and delicately played, heightens the emotional depth of the performances, drawing audiences quietly deeper into the unfolding narratives. During intermissions, patrons softly enjoy simple, yet carefully prepared refreshments, engaging in quiet conversations about the performances and cultural happenings throughout Edo. These peaceful interactions, often marked by subtle humor and gentle camaraderie, reinforce community bonds and collective appreciation for cultural traditions. Outside, the night gently deepens, the streets softly illuminated by lanterns casting warm, flickering light across Edo's tranquil landscape. The quiet hum of the city, punctuated occasionally by distant laughter or whispered conversations, underscores the serene yet lively nature of Edo nightlife. Leaving the theatre, you pause briefly to savour this peaceful atmosphere. Edo's kabuki theatres, with their gentle blend of refined artistic expression and quiet communal engagement, beautifully encapsulate the city's broader cultural ethos, graceful, harmonious, and deeply meaningful. Inspired by this gentle immersion into Edo's artistic heart, you softly continue onward, ready to uncover more tranquil beauty, quiet wisdom, and peaceful insights as your serene journey through Edo Japan gently unfolds. Moving gently onward from the kabuki theatres, your tranquil journey carries you softly into the vibrant yet subtly graceful district known as the Floating World, or Ukiyo. Here, Edo's leisurely spirit blossoms delicately, revealing itself through artistic beauty, refined entertainment, and quiet pleasures cherished by residents. The Floating World originally emerged as an artistic and cultural haven, symbolizing life's transient and delicate nature. As you softly wander through this district, You sense a subtle vibrancy, a place where beauty and pleasure are quietly celebrated, yet always tempered by an underlying sense of impermanence. The streets are softly illuminated by paper lanterns, their warm glow gently guiding you through winding alleys filled with delicate artistry. You quietly observe charming tea houses, inviting restaurants, and elegant establishments showcasing Edo's finest cultural offerings. Each building, thoughtfully designed and beautifully maintained, invites passers-by into gentle relaxation and refined enjoyment. Conversations here flow softly. Laughter mingles harmoniously with gentle music, and the air carries subtle fragrances of incense, tea, and delicate cuisine. Artists, poets, and musicians often frequent ukiyo, drawn by its creative ambiance and appreciative audience. Here, the famous woodblock prints known as ukiyo-e flourish, depicting scenes of everyday life with graceful detail and understated elegance. These artworks capture quiet moments, scenes of beautiful courtesans, serene landscapes, and gentle snapshots of daily life, each piece subtly celebrating the fleeting beauty of the world. You softly enter a small studio where an ukiyo-e master gently works. His quiet, methodical process involves carefully carving intricate designs into wooden blocks, layering vibrant colours with meticulous precision. Watching him, you gain a quiet appreciation for this subtle art form, which blends patience, skill, and artistic insight into delicate masterpieces cherished by generations. One intriguing yet lesser-known detail softly emerges about ukiyo-e despite its delicate beauty. The process involved significant collaboration among artists, woodblock carvers, printers, and publishers. Each contributor quietly brought their expertise, ensuring the final artwork embodied a harmonious blend of diverse skills and creative visions. Historians gently debate certain aspects of ukiyo-e, particularly the extent of creative control exercised by artists over their works. Some scholars softly suggest publishers significantly influence the subjects and styles depicted, while others believe artists maintained quiet yet firm artistic autonomy. Regardless of this subtle uncertainty, ukiyo-e remains an enduring testament to Edo's refined cultural sophistication and gentle creativity. Continuing your serene exploration, you step softly into an intimate gathering within a tea house, where patrons quietly enjoy poetic recitations and gentle musical performances. The soft melodies of the shamisen fill the room, accompanying poetry readings delivered with quiet intensity. Each verse softly reflects life's transient nature, capturing fleeting beauty, gentle melancholy, and quiet contemplation. The floating world's entertainment includes refined and subtly sophisticated gatherings known as geisha parties, where graceful performers showcase their talents in dance, music, and witty conversation. The geisha embody Edo's delicate balance of artistic refinement and gentle sociability, offering peaceful enjoyment through carefully choreographed performances and subtle interactions. Outside once more, you notice how gently the district transitions from evening to night. Lanterns glow softly brighter, casting warm, flickering shadows across the quiet streets. Residents stroll leisurely, quietly savouring each moment, fully aware of the transient beauty embodied in ukiyo. Pausing for a moment, you softly absorb the peaceful atmosphere surrounding you, appreciating the floating world's unique blend of artistic elegance, gentle celebration, and serene acknowledgement of life's impermanence. Edo's Ukiyo district beautifully encapsulates the city's broader cultural ideals, refined, harmonious, and quietly reflective. With this gentle reflection, you softly continue your tranquil journey, prepared to uncover more peaceful insights, quiet beauty, and serene discoveries in your softly unfolding exploration of Edo Japan. As you continue your gentle journey, the soft tranquility of the Edo countryside begins to softly embrace you, slowly leaving behind the bustling, floating world. Your path now winds quietly into the serene, open landscapes that surround Edo. Here, in this peaceful rural setting, life moves harmoniously in tune with the seasons, deeply connected to the rhythms of nature. You stroll gently along paths bordered by lush rice paddies, their emerald hues softly shimmering in the warm sunlight. Farmers move with patient grace, their careful hands methodically planting seedlings or tending to crops. Each movement reflects centuries of tradition, quiet wisdom passed down from one generation to the next. The air around you carries subtle scents of fresh earth and vibrant greenery, blending gently into a comforting sensory symphony. The Edo period marked an era of remarkable agricultural advancement. Tokugawa governance introduced thoughtful reforms and efficient practices, significantly improving productivity while maintaining a deep respect for the land. Farmers embraced these innovations gently, carefully balancing progress with traditional wisdom, ensuring sustainability and harmony. One charming detail emerges softly from historical records. Edo farmers often employed simple yet ingenious methods to protect their crops, such as using gently reflective devices or softly chiming bells to deter pests and birds. These small, clever inventions exemplified Edo's broader approach to agriculture, quietly innovative, thoughtfully practical, and beautifully respectful of nature. Yet historians gently discuss subtle uncertainties surrounding agricultural practices in Edo Japan. They quietly question precisely how widespread and uniform these methods were, softly debating regional variations and the extent to which farmers adapted official guidelines to local conditions. Despite these gentle uncertainties, the overall picture remains clear. Agriculture in Edo flourished harmoniously, a quiet testament to careful management and cultural respect for the environment. Your path leads you gently toward a small village, quietly nestled amid rolling hills. Here, life unfolds softly and slowly, each day marked by gentle simplicity and quiet satisfaction. You notice homes modest yet beautifully maintained, surrounded by gardens brimming with vegetables, herbs, and flowers, each lovingly tended by their occupants. The villagers greet you warmly, their quiet courtesy reflecting Edo's widespread values of hospitality and mutual respect. You softly join them briefly in their daily tasks, experiencing firsthand their gentle routines, caring for livestock, preparing simple yet nourishing meals, and softly engaging in crafts and trade. In the village, you softly witness local artisans working quietly at their crafts, producing goods essential to everyday life. Pottery makers shape clay vessels with gentle precision. Weavers create fabrics with soft, rhythmic movements, and carpenters craft wooden objects with quiet mastery. Each artisan approaches their work with calm dedication, reflecting Edo's broader cultural ethos of craftsmanship and careful attention to detail. You gently pause at a communal well, where villagers gather softly throughout the day, exchanging quiet conversation, sharing gentle laughter, and reinforcing community bonds. These interactions, simple yet deeply meaningful, subtly reveal the profound social harmony cultivated under Tokugawa rule. Continuing softly through the village, you encounter a peaceful temple nestled among quiet groves of cherry and maple trees. Here, the spiritual and secular worlds gently intersect, the temple serving both as a sacred sanctuary and communal gathering space. Monks softly go about their daily routines, maintaining gardens, quietly chanting sutras, and gently offering guidance to villagers seeking wisdom and comfort. Entering the temple grounds, you feel a deep sense of tranquility enveloping you. The quiet beauty of carefully tended gardens, the gentle sounds of chanting, and the serene expressions of monks engaged in mindful tasks all contribute to the calm, reflective atmosphere. This gentle spiritual environment epitomizes Edo Japan's deep respect for contemplative practice, mindfulness, and harmonious living. Outside again, as evening softly approaches, villagers gently conclude their day, moving slowly toward their homes, their calm, content expressions are subtly reflecting the peaceful rhythm of rural Edo life. You quietly observe how the setting sun casts golden hues across the fields and village, enhancing the landscape's serene beauty. Standing quietly at the edge of the village, you take a moment to softly absorb the peaceful ambience surrounding you. This gentle exploration of rural Edo, with its harmonious blend of nature, community, and tradition, offers quiet insights into the profound tranquility and quiet dignity characteristic of the Edo period. Feeling deeply calmed and gently inspired, you softly continue onward, ready to uncover more serene discoveries, quiet insights, and peaceful beauty in your gently unfolding journey through Edo Japan. Your gentle journey continues to unfold peacefully, guiding you toward the serene embrace of Edo's seasonal celebrations. Here, in the rhythm of festivals that punctuate the year, you softly experience the deep cultural harmony and quiet joy that binds Edo's residents together, connecting them profoundly with nature and tradition. As you softly walk through Edo's streets once more, you notice subtle preparations underway for an upcoming seasonal festival. Lanterns, gently glowing with soft, warm hues, line the roads, quietly signaling the community's collective anticipation. Decorations made from natural materials like paper, bamboo, and fresh flowers adorn homes and shops, their beauty reflecting a graceful appreciation for the simple, fleeting pleasures of each season. You approach a tranquil garden where cherry blossoms have just begun their gentle bloom. The delicate petals softly drift down, creating a serene pink carpet beneath your feet. Here, residents quietly gather, enjoying the subtle beauty of Hanami cherry blossom, viewing a cherished tradition deeply woven into Edo's cultural fabric. Families and friends softly share picnics beneath blooming trees, savouring simple yet lovingly prepared dishes. Quiet laughter, gentle conversation, and expressions of subtle delight fill the air, creating a harmonious tapestry of communal joy. The Hanami tradition gently reminds everyone of life's fleeting nature, encouraging mindful appreciation of each quiet, beautiful moment. One charming historical detail softly emerges about Hanami. The Edo period saw a gentle shift in the tradition, from a primarily aristocratic pastime to one enjoyed by all residents, regardless of social status. This subtle democratization of Hanami highlights Edo's broader cultural shift toward inclusivity, communal harmony, and shared joy. Yet historians gently debate certain aspects of these seasonal festivals. particularly the exact origins and subtle influences shaping their evolution. Some quietly suggest Hanami and other seasonal celebrations carry deep spiritual roots influenced by Shinto beliefs, while others softly propose broader cultural exchanges contributed significantly. Regardless of these gentle uncertainties, Edo's festivals remain profoundly meaningful, deeply reflective of the society's harmonious ethos. Moving softly onward, you arrive at a festival dedicated to the autumn moon, known as Tsukimi. The air feels gently crisp, imbued with subtle fragrances of autumnal flowers and freshly prepared seasonal delicacies. Residents quietly admire the full moon, softly sharing poetry, stories, and gentle reflections inspired by its serene beauty. You observe families gently placing small offerings of rice dumplings and seasonal fruits beneath the moon's quiet gaze, a subtle act of gratitude and acknowledgement of nature's gifts. Musicians softly perform melodies inspired by the moon's calm beauty, their quiet notes blending harmoniously with the tranquil night air. In winter, you softly experience the peaceful atmosphere of New Year celebrations. Homes and streets are gently adorned with traditional decorations, each symbolizing quiet hopes for prosperity, health, and harmony in the year ahead. Residents softly visit temples and shrines, quietly offering prayers and reflections, gently reaffirming communal bonds and personal aspirations. At these temples, you witness monks performing gentle ceremonies intended to cleanse and renew the spirit. Quiet chants softly resonate through serene temple halls, their harmonious sounds soothing and deeply calming. Villagers quietly participate, their expressions serene, reflecting quiet optimism and peaceful acceptance. Spring gently returns, bringing another festival, the Boys' Day celebration, softly marking the growth and strength of Edo's youth. Homes quietly display colourful banners shaped like carp, symbolising resilience and determination. Families softly gather, sharing gentle encouragements and quiet pride in their children's growth and potential. Throughout these seasonal celebrations, you softly observe Edo's residents gently engaging in thoughtful rituals, each carefully designed to reinforce communal harmony, respect for nature, and mindful appreciation of life's subtle beauty. These festivals gently embody Edo's profound commitment to living in quiet harmony with nature and community. Pausing quietly once more, you softly absorb the peaceful atmosphere surrounding you. The seasonal festivals of Edo, with their gentle rhythms and quiet joys, beautifully encapsulate the cultural harmony, mindful appreciation, and tranquil dignity that define this serene historical period. Deeply inspired by your gentle exploration, you softly continue onward, ready to uncover more peaceful insights, quiet beauty, and serene discoveries as your soothing journey through Edo Japan gently unfolds. Your tranquil exploration softly guides you next into Edo's subtle journey toward isolation. As your path gently unfolds, you quietly observe how Japan, under the thoughtful governance of the Tokugawa shogunate, slowly turns inward, carefully moderating interactions with the outside world to preserve the serenity and stability deeply cherished by its people. You begin your gentle passage by softly approaching Nagasaki, the solitary gateway for foreign interaction during the Edo period. Here, in a quietly secluded harbour, you notice the subtle signs of carefully regulated exchanges between Japan and select foreign traders, primarily from the Dutch East India Company. The harbour, calm and peaceful, quietly hums with subdued activity, each interaction precisely governed and meticulously observed. In this tranquil enclave, known as Dejima, foreign traders gently reside, their activities closely monitored to ensure they harmoniously align with Japan's carefully maintained social and cultural order. Dejima's boundaries are clearly defined, yet within them exists a quietly vibrant microcosm of cultural exchange, subtle curiosity, and carefully measured openness. Walking softly through Dejima, you gently observe Dutch merchants engaging quietly with Japanese interpreters, exchanging not only goods, but also subtle knowledge and cultural insights. The atmosphere is serene yet lively, reflecting a delicate balance between cautious openness and protective restraint. Items such as scientific instruments, medical texts, and subtle novelties slowly make their way into Japan, each carefully examined to determine its suitability for Edo's harmonious society. One intriguing historical detail softly emerges regarding Dejima despite the restrictive nature of these exchanges. Edo period Japanese scholars displayed a quiet eagerness to study Western sciences and technologies, known as rangaku, or Dutch learning. This subtle intellectual pursuit allowed Edo's intellectual elite to gently explore new ideas without disturbing the broader social harmony. Historians softly debate the precise impacts of rangaku, particularly the subtle ways it influenced Japanese society and intellectual culture. Some gently suggest these exchanges significantly enrich scientific understanding and medical practices, while others quietly emphasize the limited scope of this influence, given Japan's overarching policy of isolation. Regardless of these gentle uncertainties, the quiet significance of rangaku remains clear, subtly shaping Edo's intellectual landscape without disrupting its peaceful stability. Your path gently continues through quiet scholarly settings, where you softly encounter Japanese intellectuals and physicians calmly engaging with foreign texts. You quietly witness their thoughtful curiosity, softly examining Western instruments and medical knowledge with meticulous care. Their calm, measured approach reflects Edo's broader ethos open to knowledge, yet thoughtfully cautious to maintain societal harmony. Further along, your peaceful exploration softly leads you towards subtle signs of Japan's deliberate withdrawal from international affairs. Tokugawa authorities gradually impose restrictions, carefully limiting foreign influence to preserve Japan's cherished social tranquility. Travel abroad becomes increasingly rare, and interactions with foreign powers are subtly yet systematically restricted. You quietly observe how these restrictions fostered a deeply introspective culture within Edo Japan, gently encouraging artistic, cultural, and intellectual expressions uniquely reflective of Japan's own values and aesthetics. In isolation, Edo's artisans, writers, and scholars softly flourish, cultivating a profoundly rich and distinctly Japanese cultural identity. Gently walking back toward Edo, you pass through quiet towns and villages subtly shaped by this introspective cultural flourishing. Local craftspeople calmly perfect their arts, quietly developing distinctive styles deeply reflective of Japan's unique aesthetics and values. Subtle yet profound innovations in pottery, textiles, painting, and literature gently emerge, their beauty resonating deeply within Edo's harmonious society. Your quiet reflection deepens as you softly absorb the peaceful beauty surrounding you. Edo's journey toward isolation, characterized by carefully regulated openness and thoughtful introspection, quietly reveals the profound depth of Japan's cultural resilience, intellectual curiosity, and societal harmony. With gentle inspiration, you softly continue onward, eager to uncover more peaceful insights, quiet beauty, and serene discoveries as your soothing exploration of Edo Japan continues to gently unfold. As your gentle journey through Edo continues, you softly find yourself exploring the quiet yet captivating world of Edo period craftsmanship. Here, among softly humming workshops and tranquil studios, artisans meticulously perfect their crafts, embodying the subtle blend of tradition, innovation, and profound respect for beauty and functionality that characterizes Edo Japan. Your peaceful exploration brings you first to a small woodworking studio tucked quietly into a serene corner of the city. The aroma of fresh wood gently fills the air, mingling subtly with the calming fragrance of incense. Here, skilled carpenters softly shape intricate wooden pieces with deliberate, graceful movements, each crafted with quiet precision and reverence for their material. Observing closely, you quietly notice how each artisan carefully selects and handles their tools, their gentle, rhythmic movements reflecting years of dedicated practice and inherited knowledge. The subtle beauty of their creations, finely detailed furniture, elegantly carved sculptures, and delicate architectural accents reveals a deep appreciation for craftsmanship, quietly echoing Edo's broader cultural values of patience, precision, and harmony. One particularly charming detail gently emerges as you softly explore these studios. Edo artisans often personalize their tools, inscribing subtle marks or symbols believed to bestow good fortune or enhance the tool's efficacy. These quiet, thoughtful practices exemplify the harmonious integration of personal beliefs, cultural traditions, and meticulous craftsmanship characteristic of Edo artisans. Yet, historians softly debate certain aspects of Edo craftsmanship, particularly the extent to which artisans adapted traditional techniques to meet evolving tastes and demands. Some quietly suggest that while adherence to tradition remained paramount, subtle innovations and adaptations were quietly embraced, reflecting the artisan's ability to harmoniously balance tradition with gentle creativity. Regardless of these gentle uncertainties, Edo craftsmanship consistently demonstrated profound respect for heritage and subtle innovation. Your gentle exploration next softly guides you into a quiet pottery studio, where potters calmly shape and glaze vessels destined for everyday use and refined ceremonies alike. The soft murmur of pottery wheels gently spinning fills the space, accompanied by the occasional quiet clink of tools shaping clay. Each potter works with careful deliberation, softly guiding the clay into forms of subtle beauty and functionality. Quietly observing their process, you gently appreciate the potter's intuitive understanding of their materials. Glazes carefully mixed from natural ingredients subtly enhance each piece's beauty, resulting in vessels whose quiet elegance and restrained charm perfectly embody Edo aesthetics. The harmonious fusion of form, function, and gentle beauty evident in these ceramics softly reflects broader Edo ideals. Continuing softly onward, you enter a tranquil studio dedicated to textile arts, softly observing weavers meticulously crafting fabrics with gentle, rhythmic movements. Threads dyed in subtle, harmonious hues intertwine gracefully, creating textiles celebrated for their quiet beauty, durability, and elegance. The atmosphere is serene yet lively, softly resonating with the subtle energy of artisans dedicated to their craft. Here, too, a quiet detail gently emerges. Edo textile artisans often incorporated symbolic motifs, reflecting cultural values, seasonal changes, or subtle wishes for prosperity and good fortune. These gentle symbols subtly enhance textiles' beauty and meaning, quietly reinforcing Edo society's broader cultural ethos of mindful craftsmanship and symbolic expression. As you softly explore further, your path quietly leads you to artisans specializing in lacquerware, a craft deeply cherished in Edo Japan for its delicate beauty and durable elegance. Lacquer artisans carefully apply thin layers of lacquer, each requiring patience and quiet precision, resulting in objects admired for their subtle sophistication and quiet durability. The meticulous care and gentle patience required by this craft reflect broader Edo values, quietly underscoring the society's profound appreciation for carefully crafted beauty. You softly notice artisans' thoughtful approach, gently blending artistic expression, functional practicality, and cultural symbolism into pieces quietly treasured by generations. Pausing softly once more, you quietly reflect on the profound beauty and harmonious sophistication embodied by Edo period craftsmanship. Each artisan's gentle dedication, quiet creativity, and subtle innovation collectively shaped Edo Japan's distinctive cultural identity, deeply resonating with values of tradition, harmony, and mindful beauty. With quiet admiration and gentle inspiration, you softly continue your peaceful exploration, eager to uncover more serene discoveries, quiet insights, and subtle beauty as your soothing journey through Edo Japan gently unfolds. As your tranquil journey unfolds further, you softly find yourself drawn toward Edo's spiritual heart, its sacred Shinto shrines, and serene Buddhist temples. These places of quiet devotion and timeless ritual gently invite you into their peaceful embrace, offering glimpses of Edo's deep connection to the spiritual world. You arrive first at a Shinto shrine nestled gracefully among towering cedar trees. The air is crisp and lightly scented with the natural perfumes of earth, wood, and stone. A torii gate marks your entry, its wooden beams standing silently, a passage between the worldly and the sacred. As you step through, your surroundings seem to quiet even more. Soft footsteps on stone paths lead you to the main hall, where worshippers gently offer prayers, bowing twice, clapping twice, then bowing once more. These simple, quiet gestures carry profound meaning and intimate communication with the kami, the divine spirits believed to inhabit every element of nature. Shrines in Edo Japan are not just places of prayer, they are centers of community life. Seasonal festivals, quiet weddings, and simple blessings unfold within their grounds. You quietly witness a gentle ritual, a priest softly purifying a space with sacred branches of sakaki and clear spring water. The atmosphere is serene, filled with the delicate rhythm of bells and chants that calm the spirit. One quietly endearing detail you notice is the presence of ieme, small wooden plaques hanging from a frame, inscribed with gentle wishes and prayers written by visitors. These messages, often heartfelt and poetic, range from hopes for good health to peaceful dreams and family harmony. The gentle rustling of the plaques in the breeze adds a soft whisper to the shrine's tranquil soundscape. Historians gently debate the degree to which Edo's urban shrines were influenced by political or social motives. Some suggest they quietly reinforced the Tokugawa regime's ideals of harmony and stability, while others believe they remained largely spiritual in nature, offering a quiet refuge from life's uncertainties. Regardless, their continued presence as centers of serenity speaks to their deep cultural significance. From the shrine, you stroll gently into the shaded grounds of a nearby Buddhist temple. The architecture shifts subtly, graceful curves, sweeping tiled roofs, and large incense burners welcome you. The scent of sandalwood drifts gently through the air as monks move quietly through the courtyards, their robes whispering with each step. Inside the temple hall, golden statues of the Buddha glow softly in the candlelight. You sit silently among other visitors, the silence punctuated only by the resonant tones of a bronze bell. The monk's chant begins a deep, rhythmic sound that seems to vibrate through your chest, anchoring you in calm presence. Here, Buddhism offers a path inward. Meditation, reflection, and mindful rituals provide a way to cultivate inner peace, a value deeply mirrored in Edo's broader way of life. Some temples serve as centers of learning, others as quiet refuges. All share a commitment to tranquility. A gentle anecdote surfaces certain Edo temples were known for their gardens, specifically designed for contemplation. You quietly wander into one such space, a dry landscape garden, where stones and raked gravel form a minimalist canvas. The arrangement is intentional, yet invites interpretation. You feel yourself slowly settling into its stillness. Even among scholars today, soft debates continue over the influence of Buddhism during the Edo period. Was its role more personal or political? Did the shogunate embrace it as a tool of unity, or tolerate it quietly alongside Shinto tradition? These uncertainties remain softly unresolved, adding layers of quiet intrigue to Edo's spiritual story. As twilight begins to settle, you make your way back through a tree-lined path, the lanterns gently lighting your way. The shrines and temples behind you continue their silent watch over the city, their timeless rituals still echoing gently in your thoughts. In their peaceful presence, you've touched the spiritual soul of Edo, a place where the divine and the everyday coexisted in quiet harmony. With your heart calmed and spirit gently lifted, you softly continue your journey, ready to uncover more whispers of beauty and history in the quiet rhythm of Edo Japan. As your quiet footsteps continue through the gentle rhythm of Edo, you find yourself approaching the edge of dusk, when the city softly transforms into a landscape of warm lights, hushed voices, and subtle joys. Night in Edo is not loud or hurried, it flows like a calm river, guiding each resident into a slower, more reflective tempo. You begin your evening stroll through one of Edo's night markets, a scene alive with quiet charm. Lanterns flicker softly overhead, casting pools of amber light along narrow walkways lined with wooden stalls. The air is filled with the comforting scent of grilled fish, fresh mochi, and incense, each aroma a familiar lullaby for the senses. Vendors greet passers-by with gentle smiles and courteous bows. Their voices are low, respectful, as they offer their simple wares: handmade combs, neatly woven fans, finely crafted chopsticks, and small delicacies wrapped in paper. The atmosphere is one of mutual respect and unhurried exchange. No one shouts. No one rushes. A small child quietly tugs at a parent's sleeve, drawn to the soft glow of a toy vendor's stall. There, delicately carved wooden animals and paper lanterns shaped like fireflies seem to shimmer with their own inner life. The child's eyes widen in quiet wonder, and you share in their gentle joy. One softly delightful tradition you witness is the art of storytelling. Seated upon a raised platform at the heart of the market is a rakugo performer, dressed simply, illuminated by a single lantern. With only a fan and a cloth as props, he recounts tales of humorous misadventure and everyday wisdom. His voice rises and falls gently, each phrase carefully timed, each pause inviting a smile. The small audience listens closely, laughter erupting like ripples never loud, always warm. Historians still gently explore the origins of rakugo. Some suggest its structure evolved from Buddhist sermons designed to educate through entertainment, while others see it as the natural outgrowth of earlier street performances. Whatever its source, rakugo became a quiet cornerstone of Edo's social evenings, offering both amusement and subtle insight. You move on toward a small bridge arching over a slow-moving canal. Beneath it, water laps gently against stone, carrying the reflections of lanterns and stars. A boat glides past, its passengers silent, perhaps listening to the musician seated near the bow, his shamisen playing a soft, haunting melody that speaks directly to the heart. Not far beyond, a group of townspeople gather at the steps of a small shrine. They place offerings, simple bowls of rice, a branch of plum blossoms, a folded paper charm. They do not speak. They only bow, hands pressed together, honouring the day's end with reverent silence. You pause at a nearby tea stand. The host greets you with a nod and a gentle gesture to sit. The tea is warm and grassy, served in a rustic ceramic cup that fits perfectly in your hand. No words are exchanged, yet you feel entirely welcome. The quiet act of sharing tea becomes a communion of presence, a nightly ritual shared by many across the city. A small dog passes, its steps pattering lightly against the earth. Somewhere, wind chimes tinkle. The night deepens, yet remains awake not with noise, but with life in its most peaceful form. Edo at night is a city of soft music, gentle voices, and flickering shadows. It is a place that knows how to rest without falling silent, how to celebrate without shouting, how to exist in stillness without losing its soul. As you leave the market, you look back one last time. The stalls are beginning to close, the lanterns dimming. People are returning home. A final breeze carries the scent of sweet rice and pine. With your heart gently warmed by this quiet immersion, you continue onward, your steps slow, and your spirit light ready to explore more of Edo Japan's serene beauty and timeless wisdom. As dawn softly returns to the city of Edo, your journey continues into the quieter corners of the literary world, where poets and writers reflect life through the subtle grace of words. In this gentle realm, language becomes a tool of calm observation, a companion to stillness, and a mirror to the impermanence so cherished in Edo thought. You awaken near the threshold of a small hanamachi, an artist's neighbourhood tucked behind rows of plum trees. The morning mist curls delicately around the tiled rooftops. Wooden signs sway gently from their hinges, announcing the presence of booksellers, ink makers, and small publishing houses. The city's famed paper makers begin their work early, pressing pulp into fine sheaves destined to carry words of quiet beauty. You step into a modest shop where volumes of poetry and essays line the walls. The books are bound simply, yet with careful attention to texture, ink, and calligraphy. The proprietor nods silently and returns to his task of arranging fresh sheets for binding. You run your fingers over the soft surface of the paper, sensing the care placed into each fold. Within these walls, you find collections of haiku, those slender, powerful lines that contain entire moments in just a few syllables. A well-known poem by Matsuo Basho catches your eye, an old, silent pond. A frog jumps into the pond. Splash silence again. Its simplicity, its rhythm, its quiet, a perfect reflection of Edo's poetic soul. Through Basho's words, you feel not only the scene but the stillness that follows, the world returning to calm. This is poetry not for applause, but for contemplation. One charming detail softly emerges as you read many haiku were exchanged as part of correspondence, written on folded paper and sent like soft gifts between friends. Poets often included small illustrations, pressed flowers, or sprigs of grass alongside their verses. These handwritten missives became threads of quiet connection in an already thoughtful world. Scholars continue to reflect gently on the social roles of Edo's poets. Some believe they were revered as quiet sages, capturing the spirit of their time with elegant brevity. Others argue they lived modestly, more embedded in the rhythms of daily life than apart from it. Regardless, their legacy is one of mindfulness, and their verses remain footprints in the soft earth of time. As you leave the shop, you pass a group of students seated under a tree, reading aloud in careful unison from a collection of moral tales and parables. Their voices, though low, rise with quiet purpose. Learning, like poetry, is treated as a lifelong path one walked slowly and with respect. Nearby, a small publisher prepares woodblock prints for a new edition of poems. You observe the craftsman as he inks the carved lines, presses them to paper, and lifts them with a slow breath of satisfaction. It is a moment of still creation, repeated across the city each day. You pause beside a river, where a poet sits on a flat stone with brush in hand. He smiles gently at your presence, then turns back to his verse. Around him, reeds sway, and a heron stands motionless in the shallows. The poet writes not to be heard, but to understand. Edo's poets do not chase fame. Their voices are quiet ones, etched in ink, folded into pockets, whispered beneath moonlight, and read beside lanterns. They help the city remember how to see, not through noise, but through noticing. As the morning grows warmer, you leave the literary district with a softened spirit, holding the weightless wisdom of poets past. Their words follow you like petals on water floating, fading, never lost. With their verses in your mind and peace in your heart, you step gently forward, ready to discover more of Edo's subtle, unfolding grace. As your gentle path winds onward, you now arrive at the heart of seasonal beauty, Edo's beloved celebration of nature's cycles through blossoms, rituals, and festivals. While earlier you witnessed the quiet joy of cherry blossoms, here you feel the fuller pulse of a city devoted to living in harmony with each fleeting season. You begin beneath a canopy of blooming sakura, though you've passed them before. Now you take time to notice more deeply how the petals fall like snow, how people move a little slower under their pink glow. Families gather on simple mats, sharing food and stories. There is no loud cheer, only the comfort of presence. The atmosphere is one of shared stillness, a festival of observation more than excitement. Children run quietly, catching falling petals in open hands. Elderly couples sit side by side, not speaking, just looking. And along a shaded path, a group of artists sketch the trees, each line a tribute to impermanence. One charming custom gently catches your attention, the writing of seasonal verses on coloured strips of paper, tied to slender bamboo branches. These tanzaku flutter in the breeze small wishes for health, love, or serenity, dancing lightly in the air. They are not grand gestures, but quiet acknowledgements of the hopes that live in everyone's heart. Yet historians gently reflect on the origins of such traditions. Some believe they stem from ancient agricultural rites. Others see them as imported cultural practices slowly woven into the Japanese identity. As always, the truth lies somewhere in the silence between theories. What remains clear is the deep reverence Edo people held for the turning of the seasons. Your walk continues through summer's arrival. Cicadas hum like a lullaby through the trees. In a small park, families create lanterns from paper and string, sending them down a stream in a festival of gentle light. You follow them with your eyes until they vanish around a bend, their glow mingling with the stars. Autumn paints the city in rust and gold. Leaves crunch softly underfoot as you stroll through temple gardens, now lit with candles for the moon-viewing gatherings. A quiet crowd looks upward. No music, no speeches, only the sound of wind and the rustle of robes as people shift to better see the silver face of the full moon. Winter, too, has its charm. Snowfall muffles the city, and Edo becomes a painting of stillness. Children build snow rabbits. Shopkeepers brush doorsteps clear with bundled brooms. The cold sharpens everything, but also brings people closer. You watch as neighbours leave rice cakes at each other's doors, a small seasonal kindness, expecting nothing in return. These customs, though seemingly simple, form the threads of Edo's collective soul. Life is not merely lived, it is noticed, shaped by rituals that give rhythm to passing time. You realize that to dwell in Edo is not just to reside in a place, but to flow with it. You end this part of your journey beside a frozen pond, where plum blossoms have begun to bud despite the frost. A woman dips her brush into red ink, writing a verse in praise of renewal. You do not need to read it. Its meaning is everywhere. With the season still swirling gently in your thoughts, you take a quiet breath and step forward, eager to witness the many other ways Edo softly embraced its beautiful fleeting world. Your footsteps now lead you gently toward a lesser-known, yet ever-present challenge in the peaceful life of Edo fire. Despite its calm rhythms and careful structures, Edo was a city made primarily of wood and paper, a tender creation vulnerable to the simplest spark. And yet, from this risk emerged remarkable resilience, a quiet culture of preparation, recovery, and solidarity. You waken one morning to the faint scent of smoke on the breeze. There is no panic. The city breathes calmly, even in the face of danger. A fire has taken hold in a distant district, an all-too common occurrence in the close-knit quarters of Edo's wooden homes and narrow alleys. But there is no chaos. What you witness is quiet order. Teams of firefighters haikishi move with silent urgency through the lanes, their uniforms marked with distinctive symbols of the guilds they represent. These men are not simply responders. They are community guardians, honoured and admired for their bravery and presence. You observe their careful methods. They do not fight the fire with water alone, but by dismantling homes in its path, preventing its spread. The work is intense, but conducted with a solemn, almost meditative precision. Crowds gather, not to panic, but to assist. Neighbours quietly pass buckets, lead children to safety, or carry treasured belongings into the arms of strangers for safekeeping. One quietly poignant detail emerges when a fire threatened a neighbourhood. Residents would often remove roof tiles and stack them in courtyards, a symbolic act showing the community's readiness and unity in the face of loss. Even the youngest helped where they could, fetching tools, leading elders. Fire, while feared, became an opportunity to demonstrate Edo's quiet strength. Historians continue to debate the exact frequency and scope of major fires in Edo. While some records describe the city as the City of Fires, others note that many of these accounts were exaggerated, dramatized over time. What remains beyond question is the city's capacity to endure, to rebuild, and to do so without anger or despair. In the aftermath, as ash settles and smoke lifts, you walk through a district where charred beams lie neatly stacked and residents already begin to rebuild. Children sweep debris while elders sketch plans on scraps of parchment. There are no loud commands, no mournful wails, only resolve, only movement. You visit a small shop where the owner sits cross-legged, cleaning soot from salvaged wares. He smiles when he sees you. "We've done this before," he says softly. "We'll do it again." There is no bitterness in his tone, only quiet understanding. Such is the rhythm of life here, an ebb and flow of creation, loss and rebirth. Nearby, artisans begin crafting charms believed to protect homes from future fires, symbols painted in black ink and hung above doorways with care. Some temples hold quiet services to bless the neighborhoods, and monks walk the streets offering prayers and calm words. In a few days, life resumes its usual pace. Children laugh again, smokehouses reopen. A new wooden frame rises from the soot, built with the same hands that once brushed away ash. You pause at the edge of the district, watching the sun dip behind the rooftops, some new, some old, all now connected by the invisible thread of shared resilience. Edo, you realize, is not simply a city of beauty and peace, but of strength, the quiet kind. The kind that endures without needing to declare itself. With this understanding gently in your heart, you continue forward, ready to witness more of the city's enduring grace and silent power. The soft journey carries you now to a quieter revolution, the gentle transformation of learning during the Edo period. In this city of artisans and poets, of lanterns and gardens, education finds its own quiet rhythm, flowing through schools, temples, and humble homes alike. You begin the day in a small terracotta, a temple school where children gather to learn not only letters and numbers, but also kindness, patience, and the value of stillness. The classroom is spare tatami mats, scrolls on the walls, and inkstones carefully laid out beside brushes. The teacher, an elderly monk, bows before the lesson, setting a tone of mutual respect. The children sit cross-legged, backs straight. They copy characters slowly, each stroke deliberate. The sound of brush against papers like a whisper, rhythmic and calming. Occasionally, the teacher reads aloud a passage from a moral tale, a poem by a Chinese sage, or a proverb that drifts gently across generations. Education here is not rushed. It is a stream, not a race. The goal is not merely knowledge, but balance, a life led with humility, awareness, and grace. Boys and girls alike attend these local schools, learning to read, write, and calculate, preparing for roles as merchants, scribes, or thoughtful members of the community. A gentle detail surfaces students in terracotta would often bring their own ink, brushes, and paper, packed neatly in small satchels. Some even carried charms from their parents, tokens of encouragement, reminders that learning is a gift as sacred as prayer. Scholars softly debate how widespread these schools were. Some suggest that literacy rates in Edo were among the highest in the world at the time, especially in urban areas. Others point out the limits of access and the variations between regions. Still, it is clear that Edo placed quiet value on the power of words. You next visit a hand school, an institution supported by a local feudal domain, where samurai children receive more advanced education. Here, you observe quiet discussions of Confucian philosophy, training in calligraphy, and the careful recitation of history. Learning is intertwined with moral instruction, loyalty, and the cultivation of a calm, just mind. The samurai, no longer needed on the battlefield, have turned inward. Their swords rest on racks while their hands turn pages. You pass a young man translating Chinese texts into Japanese, lips moving soundlessly as he absorbs each phrase. His brow is furrowed not in stress, but in steady focus. Outside the classroom, a garden awaits. It is not simply a place for rest, but for reflection. Students walk its paths in silence, allowing ideas to settle like leaves upon still water. Further into the city, you find private libraries and lending shops. Books are copied by hand, stored in cabinets with care. Readers come quietly, exchange a coin, and borrow wisdom. Titles range from practical manuals on farming or medicine to fantastical tales and theatrical scripts. One small lending shop keeps a guest book. As you turn its pages, you see names written in a dozen hands, traders, seamstresses, cooks, and monks, all seekers in their own way. Beside one name, a note, returned early, read twice. Education in Edo is not uniform. It is woven into daily life like a subtle thread visible in how merchants keep their books, how apprentices record techniques, how travellers memorize poems for comfort on the road. As evening falls, you sit outside a schoolhouse and listen to the last recitation of the day. The teacher's voice is low and soothing, guiding the students through a final proverb. Then a bow, a chorus of farewells, and the soft shuffle of feet as they return home, carrying knowledge like a lantern within. You rise too, feeling gently illuminated. In Edo, wisdom does not shout, it whispers, and tonight it has spoken to you. The next steps of your quiet journey carry you southwest, towards the distant shores of Nagasaki, Edo Japan's only formal portal to the outside world. Here, in this gentle enclave of regulated exchange, you encounter the calm intersection of east and west, managed not with fanfare, but with quiet curiosity and thoughtful restraint. Nagasaki's harbour is misty in the early light. Boats bob gently along the piers, their masts creaking softly with the breeze. At the centre lies Dejima, a small, thus fan-shaped artificial island built to house foreign traders. From afar, it looks like a walled garden floating on the sea, but as you draw closer, you see that within its boundaries, entire lives unfold with quiet discipline. The Dutch, the only Europeans allowed to stay, live here under constant supervision. They trade in measured intervals, permitted to leave the island only on rare ceremonial visits to the shogunate. Their presence is both accepted and contained a candle kept under a glass. As you walk the wooden bridges leading to Dejima, a translator greets you with a quiet bow. Known as tsuji, these interpreters are more than linguists. They are bridges themselves carrying ideas, goods, and etiquette across cultural divides with grace and care. You follow him through the island, past barrels of sugar, silk, and books. One such book is gently passed to you, its title a medical text from Europe. translated into Japanese by a scholar of Rangaku Dutch learning. Here, in Nagasaki's silence, knowledge is exchanged not in crowded lecture halls, but in small rooms lined with scrolls and instruments. The scholars sit low, read slowly, and copy by hand. You learn of Sugita Genpaku, a doctor who, upon reading a Dutch anatomy book, quietly began to question what he had been taught. With patience and reverence, he and his peers translated these ideas into a new understanding of the human body, merging Western insight with Japanese perspective. It is a story of careful change, guided not by rebellion, but by deep respect. Historians gently debate how much influence Rangaku truly had. Was it a quiet undercurrent or a hidden tide? Did it transform Japan subtly from within, or simply add small ripples of understanding? Whatever the answer, the effect is undeniable. Edo Japan absorbed what it needed not to become something else, but to deepen what it already was. You pause in a courtyard where a Dutch astronomer has set up a small telescope. A few Japanese scholars gather around, peering skyward for the first time through Western lenses. They do not exclaim, they nod, they compare, they sketch. Even the stars are greeted with quiet thought. Back in the city, the influence of foreign exchange appears in faint but notable ways. A new technique in dyeing fabric, a recipe that uses unfamiliar spices, a diagram in a scholar's notebook. These are not revolutions, they are footprints. One small detail brings a smile a Dutch merchant, enamored with Japanese fans, learns to craft one himself. His designs are crude but sincere. He gives them as gifts, and they find their way into the city's night markets, curious tokens of a meeting between worlds. As evening falls, the harbour glows with lantern light. You hear the murmur of conversation in two languages, mingling gently across water. The ships at dock sway like dozing animals, patient in the tide. You walk once more along Dejima's edge. The waves lap softly below. Behind you, the voices of scholars and merchants blend with the songs of sailors. Ahead, Edo awaits again, still whole, still deeply itself. With quiet wonder at this bridge between worlds, you turn your feet back toward the mainland, the distant stars above now a little closer in your thoughts. Returning softly to the mainland, your path now turns inward, toward one of the most silent and contemplative spaces in all of Edo, the world of the Zen monasteries. Here, behind walls of stone and cedar, time slows even further, and in the hush of temple courtyards and garden paths, you begin to sense the quiet pulse of a deeper stillness. You arrive at a Zen temple just after dawn. The sky is pale, and the air holds the gentle chill of early morning. The gates are open, yet no one calls you in. There is no announcement, no sign. Only the faint scent of incense and the sound of a wooden bell, its tone round and steady. A soft invitation to step into presence. The temple grounds are sparse and balanced. Stone paths weave between mossy rocks and raked gravel. A few maple trees stretch overhead, their leaves stirring softly in the wind. You remove your shoes and step onto polished wooden floors. They creak, but no one scolds you. Instead, a monk passes, his step silent, his head bowed in greeting. Within the temple walls, the rhythms are as simple as they are sacred, rising before sunrise, bowing with each turn, sweeping floors as meditation, eating in silence. Everything here is done with intention. Even the act of pouring tea becomes a ceremony, a way to remember the present moment. You're invited to sit zazen-seated meditation. A cushion awaits by a low window. You settle in, legs folded gently, hands forming a quiet circle in your lap. At first, the silence is startling, but slowly, breath by breath, it becomes a companion. Thoughts float by like leaves on a stream. You do not chase them, you simply watch. One of the monks shares a quiet story with you later, not with flourish, but with ease. He speaks of a past abbot who, during a terrible snowstorm, spent the entire day brushing clear the path not to walk it, but to make it easier for others to follow. The tale needs no explanation. Its wisdom lies in the gesture. A gentle curiosity arises as you explore the temple library. The shelves hold scrolls of Buddhist texts, inked carefully by hand. Next to them are small notebooks, records of dreams, moon phases, reflections. One page reads, "Today, the wind came from the west. It smelled of the rain. I did not move." Historians softly debate the role Zen played during the Edo period. Was it a personal retreat, practiced only by the elite, or a quiet force that shaped the larger culture? Some argue its principles filtered into art, governance, and even everyday etiquette. Others suggest it remained an island of silence in a world of increasing noise. Both views, perhaps, are true. You wander the temple grounds once more, passing a rock garden, a koi pond, and a bell tower. A monk rings the bell with a single, resonant strike. Its vibration travels through your chest like a low hum of the earth itself. Outside, a group of novices chant sutras, their voices low and even. The sound weaves through the temple like incense, subtle but persistent. It does not ask you to understand, only to listen. As the sun climbs gently into the sky, you prepare to leave. A monk bows to you not as a farewell, but as a reminder that reverence is not reserved for ceremony alone. It lives in each movement, each breath, each step. With your heart now quieter, you return to the path. Edo still awaits, but you carry with you the stillness of the monastery, a calm that will echo through every moment to come.